You don't like the way the fast lane's talking about the Cardinals? Am I just going to sit here and let them talk about this team like that? I sure as heck am, Mo. I love the way they're talking to you because they're winners. Winners get to do what they want. The only thing you ever done with your life, Mo, is fall backwards into a championship. 13 years ago, that's it. That's it. That is it. If we wanted us some radio wussies, we'd have named him Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman, okay? I worked too hard for your bowl, Mo.
Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. That was Luke who kicks off what should be a very entertaining show with our listeners. Luke left us that mic drop or voicemail just as we signed off yesterday, but we wanted to make sure that we played it going in today because, boy, Luke, you had us cracking up in the office today. Yeah. Well done. Well done with the Talladega Nights scene there with Mo. So, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate you tuned in today. 2:04, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. But don't forget, we have the Blues and Devils pregame at 5 o'clock, so we're off a little early tonight. Got the coverage for you right here on 101 ESPN, of course, the Blues Radio Network. We decided yesterday, after we got a series of texts about how we're not talking about this, why aren't you talking about that, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, we just said, all right, hey, you drive the bus today.
See how it goes?
We'll see how it goes. I've never done this. I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are looking forward to it. We're equal parts nervous, scared, and elated.
Not nervous. I'm thrilled. I want to hear the topics of the people. We'll talk about it.
So this is how this is going to work. We do have a couple of benchmarks. You know, what's trending. Of course, the Gauntlet. We got Chris Kerber today. Hot Take, Hot Garbage. Sports Six-Pack. The rest of the board's kind of wide open, though. So whatever you have been clamoring about for us to talk about, it's your opportunity. Leave us an Air Comfort Service text at 314-399-9646. We're ready for you. So, Marsh?
We're already getting some interesting stuff. A lot of it has nothing to do with sports, too.
Let's at least lead off with one sports-related talk.
Man, I mean, a lot of this is like thoughts on last night's Survivor episode, which, by the way, Survivor, one of my favorite shows of all time.
It's still on, huh?
It's still on, yeah. Wow. The new season just kicked off last week. I have not watched the latest episode, so unfortunately we can't get into it.
Is that guy still hosting?
Yeah.
He's still hosting after all these years? Man, he's probably a, multimillionaire now?
Oh, he has to be.
Hosting that show? Mm-hmm. Good for him. All right, we got to have some sports-related conversation to throw out there. It's all non-sports?
Well, we have a few sports stuff.
Hit us, Marsh. Let's go. That's what this is for. Rapid fire.
All right, here we go. Oscar Sundqvist just signed an extension today, so let's get into some Blues from the 636. Let's talk about how long you think it's going to take the Blues to find their identity and the directions that they want to go with this team.
All right, good topic. Perfect. So the Blues made some line combination changes today. Saad is moving up to the top line, so it's going to be Saad, Thomas, and Kyrou, Neighbors, Schenn, Buchnevich. So Buchnevich goes to the second line, Saad goes to the top line. I imagine Drew Bannister didn't say it. He just said, we're changing up the lines. Just change up those two lines, give us a little bit of a different look, and try to get some more offense out of it than just one player in one line. I imagine, Kerry, it's because Buchnevich is likely being dealt tomorrow, and you want to get a jump on. This is your first opportunity to get a different look at the top line.
Yeah, I would have rather seen Neighbors up there on the first line with Robert Thomas.
And maybe he eventually gets up there.
I think he's gonna be in front of the net. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be a presence there, and he's gonna do a good job. And I just think it would have been a better. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hell, who knows? The transition, and I thought this was going to be done or could have been done a couple of weeks ago because Buchnevich is a player that can kind of float. He's not. His game seems to fit with any and everyone because he's able to do so many things, which is probably why a lot of teams want him on their roster. So, not surprising, just surprised about who it was instead of Neighbors. It was Saad instead of Neighbors.
So let's circle back now to the question, which is how long will it take for the Blues to find their identity? A lot of that depends on the contract situations that they have. We know that Buchnevich has one more year left on his deal, but he might get dealt because the Blues are unlikely to sign him long-term because of the other contracts that they have. Brandon Saad doesn't become an unrestricted free agent until 2026. Sammy Blais is on a one-year deal. He'll be an unrestricted free agent. Obviously, Jake Neighbors, Zach Bolduc, Nikita Alexandrov, those guys are going to be here for a while. They don't even become restricted free agents for in Neighbors' case until 2025. Other guys, Jordan Kyrou, locked up long-term. Robert Thomas, locked up long-term. Kevin Hayes, you have locked up through 2025. Braden Shen, locked up long-term. There's not a lot that you can do contract-wise. Even me, when I'm talking about I would retool the defense.
Yeah.
I would create an identity similar to that of Vegas. Obviously, you're not going to be able to match what they have because they have your former captain in Alex Pietrangelo. But just the idea being big, heavy defense in front of Jordan Binnington, your best player. Start from there and then allow the young forwards to grow alongside Braden Shen and Brandon Saad and some of these other guys. But if you look at the contract situation, who are you going to move?
Right.
Torrey Krug's not a free agent until 2027. Justin Falk not until 2027. Colton Parayko's locked up long term. Nick Leddy's here through 2025. There's not a lot you can do from a top four standpoint unless those guys are willing to make a deal
and be moved,
waive their no trade clause, and move. The other thing you do though is you can just look to upgrade and move those guys and move some of those guys down.
Do you feel like that you're kind of in a unfortunate position because of these contracts, that if they aren't playing to the level that they're being paid and they have the no trade clauses, what can you do? If a player, if we saw it this summer, if a player says, "No, I work my butt off to get a no trade clause in my contract. I'm going to exercise that clause and not go anywhere. And even though you don't want me here, you're going to pay me to be here because I can't be moved."
Right.
How do you get better if that's the case?
Through youth.
That Anthony Stalter?
Yeah.
Don't you say that. That takes time. We ain't got time.
It does.
How much time you think we got here, sir?
Unless Jake.
What are you talking about? We don't have time for youth. This is a retool. Are you trying, sir, to make it a rebuild?
You may have to.
You did it. You've done it now.
So, Carey, you rehab houses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know when you walk in what's a retool and what's a rebuild.
Yeah, if it's a rebuild, I'm not buying it.
Fair enough. Fair enough, because you know you're going to have to take that thing down to the studs.
It's too
right?
much money, yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to a retool, you're still investing.
Yeah.
You're still saying, okay, I gotta gut out this kitchen.
Yeah.
I have to make it more modern. You may have to do that with certain aspects of your roster. And it might not fall necessarily into a full rebuild, but you're retooling a certain portion of the roster. But you asked a really good question, one that Doug Armstrong is probably having to answer himself over and over again. The contract situation being what it is for the Blues, how much change can you actually make?
That's the question.
So let's take another step back, Carey. Last year, he got rid of the expiring contracts. Mm-hmm. The other things that he did was he brought in guys like Kasperi Kapanen, and he brought in
Jakub Vrana.
Exactly. Guys that
ain't really worked out.
They didn't work out, but I understood what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Cost not even young, but cost control guys that had their time run out basically in their previous destination. Maybe we can try to catch lightning in a bottle here. Then in the offseason, he made the deal for Kevin Hayes. So you could do that again, but do you really want to continue to invest in veterans that didn't work in their previous spot, or would you rather invest in your young guys getting more time?
It feels so similar to the Cardinals. Veterans.
It does.
On 1 or 2 year contracts instead of having the youth, which is a rebuild and going to take time.
Sure.
And you have to say that because younger players take more time to develop, to learn how to be and how to survive in Major League Baseball and in National Hockey League and the NFL. It takes some time to figure out, I can do this. Didn't think I could my first time out.
Yeah.
It's part of just the maturation. And so this team, this Blues team, in the direction that they're going, you're almost going to have to rebuild, tear it down to the studs, and start from scratch. But that's not you're potentially 2 years away from that if you cannot find a way to get better quicker with either the development of these young guys, speeding that up, or getting players in here and getting some players out. Again, how do you get players out when they have no trade clauses.
Right.
It's I don't want to say it's impossible because something could happen, but you're probably not going to get back in return what you wanted.
Right.
So it's a difficult task, and it's a tough place to be in right now if you're the Blues.
We got a text from the 314. Will the Blues be competitive before Sonny's extension expires?
What do you get, 3 years?
2 years, $3 million.
It really depends on the current roster.
Right.
I mean, it's tough to answer. How much? Again, it kind of falls into what we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You may see a very similar roster to the one that you just had, and this one isn't working out.
I wonder, though, if they keep him because, he's a fan favorite. He's a good locker room presence.
Sure.
I wonder if they're keeping him there specifically for the room for the young guys that will be coming within the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's a really good low risk signing to bring him in. It's not somebody that's going to really impact your cap. There's going to be a lot more good than bad. You know what his role is, but will they win? There's so much unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Does Pavel Buchnevich get traded tomorrow? What do you do with that free space that you have? Do you reinvest in another forward? Do you allow the young guys to have their opportunities? Do you take that money and allocate it to, again, your defensemen, like I've suggested, even though you've got, your top 4 guys? Could you move one of those other dudes down? There's a lot of questions to be had here for the Blues.
We also have another question. Anthony used to work with washing machines.
Yeah.
Maybe you worked with dishwashing machines too, but this one comes from Don from the Snake Pit. What's the correct way to load a dishwasher? Is it silverware up or down?
I say silverware up.
You got to go up.
Yeah.
What about the knives, though? Like, how do you pick
gotta
a
go
knife?
down.
The knives got to go down?
I go up on the knives, too.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to stab yourself reaching in there.
You just got to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think knives go down, forks and spoons go up.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
I won't die on that hill.
When you load a dishwasher, there is a proper way. Like when
Yeah, you can't just throw the stuff in there.
yeah, you can't.
You got to organize it.
You should. Because if it's not organized, then guess what? It doesn't get clean.
It doesn't get clean.
You're just sitting the stuff on top of the other stuff.
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
That doesn't work.
All right.
Plus, you have to me, I always think about when you unload it, too.
Yes.
So you've got, like, the bigger dishes. They need to be with the bigger dishes.
There you
The
go.
smaller dishes, so that when you grab and
plates,
put them away. Yeah, your
It's
plates.
simple. Bowls, cups. It makes life easier.
Aries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell these people are doing.
We got another text from 618. Maybe we'll get into it. We'll get into a lot of things today, but thoughts on Matt Carpenter hitting his first home run of spring today?
That'll be one of the topics we do next here in the Fast Lane. It's a free-for-all Thursday on 101 ESPN. If you need new tires, you're looking for wheels, R&R Tire Express is your spot. You can call 1-833-ROLL-NOW or visit rnrtires.com, and you can request a quick quote while they're matching payments throughout the month of March when it comes to all in-stock tires and wheels. That means that if you pay a week, they're going to pay a week. If you pay 2 weeks, R&R Tire Express is going to pay 2 weeks. Again, you get the idea. Here's the thing with R&R Tire Express, too. They offer flexible payment options plus peace of mind coverage. And what that means is that they won't just drop the tires off on your front porch and say, all right, now you deal with this. No, they're going to take care of you all the way through. That includes free tire install, free rotations, free flat repair, and more. Everyone's approved, no credit needed. Want new wheels, need new tires, R&R Tire Express. they're the way to go. You pay as you go. They've got programs that are going to fit your budget. You can pay weekly or bi-weekly with your paychecks, or pay monthly, and you can pay more than the minimum payment to get rid of that. You could get it paid off quicker, save money over time. They've got, again, flexible payment options. If you need new tires, if you're in a tight spot here, you don't want to invest your entire tax return on tires, R&R Tire Express, they got you covered. Again, call 1-833-ROLL-NOW or visit rnrtires.com. It's a free-for-all Thursday here in the Fast Lane. That means that if you've thought about a topic that you've wanted us to cover, and maybe you've been hollering at us to cover it, and we just continue to talk about the same stuff day after day, hey, it's your day. Leave us a mic drop or text into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646.
See how creative our fan base can be.
Absolutely.
We got a text from 314. I was promised chaos. Where is my chaos?
Oh, just hold on.
Well, in fairness, we did talk about the Blues, washing machines, and how to load a dishwasher, and then what was
and Survivor.
So
Yeah,
we kind of hit on a couple of different things.
Sure. You know,
you'll get chaos. Let us get warmed up a little bit. But Marsh, you had read off the text about Matt Carpenter and hitting his first home run of spring training. I think it's only the second, right, for the Cardinals this spring.
I believe so. That's a great,
Not great.
Now, Kyle Gibson,
what are you talking about?
Kyle Gibson got knocked around.
No. We're not talking about that today.
No, we have to talk. Do we not live in the real world? Are we just going to have sunshine and lollipops? Are we not going to talk about the real things that take place here?
We're going to talk about the real things.
What are we going to be here? What is today?
Well, the 314 wants to talk about the Iditarod.
One of them was chaos. And chaotic is not giving up. Is giving up a lot of runs and not hitting a lot of home runs, right? It's kind of chaotic. Your ace is on the shelf till when? I don't know. Now, when the hell this guy's going to be back? Kyle Gibson, you signed him. He got knocked around. Hard hit ball after hard hit ball. Oh, my. Oh, no. Wow.
Second start.
That's not great.
He's warming up. He's getting it loose. He's getting the cannon loose. He'll be fine.
All right.
You know, you want to highlight the fact that Kyle Gibson gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in just 3 innings.
It matters.
But Matthew Liberatore, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, no runs. 2 Ks.
Gave up 5 hits.
Well, he scattered 5 hits. That's how you read that line. He scattered 5 hits. He didn't give up any runs.
Okay.
John King gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, so not a great outing for him. But Middleton only gave up a hit in his inning and
hits they
got
give
a
up today?
strikeout. How many hits total did the Cardinals give up?
Yeah.
14.
Hey, you know what? Jordan Walker hit a home run today, too, so let's not...
Slow it down.
That's
Let's
right,
not get
Jordan.
too
Walker,
negative
yes,
here.
you're right. So Matt Carpenter's home run was actually the 3rd of spring training.
There you go.
So Jordan Walker touched seats, Carpenter touched seats, Burleson had a double that scored Contreras.
Contreras had a double.
They're down 6-3 right now in the bottom of the 8th, but the offense is starting to come alive a little bit, guys. There's some positivity here.
He gave up 14 hits in 8 innings. So
Yeah.
that's not a.
Are you guys really concerned about Kyle Gibson? It's only spring training.
How many hits did he give up last year?
I gave up a lot.
He won
I think he
15
led the league.
He
games.
won 15 games,
He led the
Carey.
league in hits given.
But you know what? When
I
you
think
pitch
that was
that,
Lance Lynn.
Oh, no, he was home runs.
Oh.
when you pitch that much, you're going to give up some hits. Okay. Some of them may find the seats.
The seats?
Yeah.
We can't afford to have balls finding seats while we're in the outfield.
I'm gonna
This is
choose.
my personal opinion. I could be wrong.
I'm going to choose not to overreact to Kyle Gibson's spring. You know, Miles Michaelis, when he was first signed here, he had an awful spring and wound up having an all-star season.
Steven Matz had a great spring last year.
Right.
So
okay.
you should
So
focus on spring training.
no, to the point, spring training
Doesn't matter.
doesn't it? I think it matters to some young guys. I think it matters that Matthew Liberatore went out and pitched fairly well, scattered the hits. He didn't give up any runs. Three innings.
I'm with you.
To me, that's more important that a young guy pitches well than a veteran.
I have some concerns.
on a one-year deal doesn't. I'm with you on the concerns.
But the thing is, like, if he's not pitching well and your young players are, then move him to the bullpen.
You know what, Marsh? You know what's interesting? I hadn't thought about that. So you can be flexible. I don't know how flexible the Cardinals are going to be, but you do have guys that are on one-year deals. Mm-hmm. That's a whole other aspect. Boy, Marsh, on a Freedom Thursday.
You're gonna move Kyle Gibson to the bullpen?
Well, okay.
No.
Someone on the text line were wondering how quick it'd be before he's DFA'd. Now, I don't think that will happen, but
if you're on, this is kind of the beauty, though, of one-year deals. So let's just say that Lance Lynn or Kyle Gibson are disastrous. You can simply DFA them, go with one of your younger options, and go from there. It's not like you signed Lance Lynn or Kyle Gibson to 2-year deals or 3-year deals like Sonny Gray, and then you're committed. You're not committed. It's a 1-year deal.
I would like to apologize to Kyle Gibson. He did not lead the league in hits given up. That was the other Cardinal pitcher. That was Miles Michaelis. I just had him confused.
No, he threw a lot of innings last year. He threw well over 200 innings last
He threw
year.
192.
hey, I like a good pitcher that can get out of jams.
He only pitched 192? No.
Kyle Gibson?
No, I'm talking about Miles Michaelis.
He threw 201.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Right there.
right.
By the way, we were talking about the Iditarod earlier from the 314. Talk about the Iditarod. There was a participant that had to kill a moose during it this year.
What is
What is
that?
the Iditarod?
You don't know what the Iditarod
No, I
is?
have no clue. Is this a young thing?
No.
Is this a video game?
No. This is like a sled race. I believe it's in Alaska, I think it's in Alaska, where they will get on like the dogs and they'll literally
sled.
Yeah, they race, but they go through like miles and miles. It's like the best way,
It's like a Tour de France,
yes,
but for
it's like a dumbed down version
dog
of it
sleds.
for dog
Like the
sleds.
Husky dogs?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I know what they are, but I didn't realize they were called.
I didn't know that
It
was
was called the
name of it.
Iditarod.
I didn't realize that.
I remember in 7th grade, my class, one of my classes, we all chose a race, like a racer or whatever, and like whoever won got a prize.
cool.
Yeah, no, the Iditarod, it's pretty cool. You should look into it.
I will. Absolutely will. Maybe I'll race in it someday.
By the way, from the 618, what's your favorite flavor of jam?
Oh, strawberry.
I don't like strawberry. I like grape. Yeah.
You are a peanut butter and jelly person.
Yeah, I like grape.
It's not jam, it's jelly.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jam, strawberry.
I don't like strawberry. I like strawberries. I don't like strawberry
I don't like
flavored
strawberries.
stuff. So you're the opposite. You like the fake strawberry. I like the real strawberry.
Yeah.
I don't like strawberry. It's not strawberry. The strawberry flavor is not as bad as the watermelon flavor of like anything. Watermelon flavor of anything is terrible, in my opinion.
Depends.
It's just got a funky taste to it to me.
But strawberry jam is
I'm not
the route you want to go.
By the way,
Can't do it.
have you seen the movie Snow
blackberry.
Dogs?
Blackberry's awesome.
No, thank you.
Blackberry jam?
pass. No, thank
That's a jam.
Nah, I don't want that one.
Yeah, I'll jam some of that on my bread.
So Balto, the movie Balto, great movie. I believe
Never
that
seen
that base the race is, the route of it is based off of Balto, according to 636. Snow Dogs, that movie about the Iditarod. It's a cool
I seen
race.
Snow Dogs.
I'll
heard
take a
about
look
Snow
at
Dogs.
it.
You're not going to. Okay. That's just what he said. All right.
Yeah. All right. What's trending is next. Do you want to continue to throw some stuff at us? Fantastic. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. It's a free for all Thursday here in the Fast Lane.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Oscar Sundqvist signed a 2-year extension worth $3 million with the Blues. The Blues will take on the New Jersey Devils tonight. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We'll talk with voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber, right here on the Blues Radio Network at 3 o'clock, so make sure you tune in to that. We are taking your mic drops, your text messages. It is a free-for-all Thursday here in the Fast Lane, so continue doing that. Send us your text to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Funny roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back into the Fast Lane. It's a free-for-all Thursday. This is where you have an opportunity to throw out some topics that you want to hear discussed. We heard your comments, and we want to call them complaints, suggestions.
Complaints.
We went to the complaint box.
We didn't do a good enough job. We haven't been.
No.
Because we haven't been hitting the topics that the people want.
Exactly. So that's what today's all about.
Yep,
so
it's all about
we're
you.
opening it up. First 2 segments I thought went very well. Talked a little Blues, talked a little Cardinals, talked about a little dog sledding. Getting a little bit of everything today. So, Marsh, what's trending?
All right, from the 314, thoughts on the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
Sign me up. I hope I don't hope harm on anyone.
Well, in this case, I mean, it's boxing, so.
And here's some of the details.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, who's a YouTuber turned boxer.
Who's done well, correct?
He's done all right.
Against MMA
followed
fighters, from as far as I know.
Right.
Not any boxers.
Okay.
They will be fighting on July 20th at AT&T Stadium, of course, home of the first-round exit Dallas Cowboys. And it will be on Netflix, so it will air live on Netflix. So that should be interesting.
So here's my thing. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. had a boxing match maybe a couple years ago now. Roy Jones Jr. was a multi-champion in different weight classes. Light heavyweight champ, came heavyweight, cruiserweight. Like he's a damn good boxer. Got robbed of the gold medal in the Olympics, I think in '88. But Roy Jones Jr., great boxer in his own right, actually said, "Yeah, I'll never do this again against Mike Tyson." We weren't hitting each other, but no, I'm not gonna let him hit me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let him hit my mother's child like that anymore. Like, it was too much. Mike Tyson is a violent individual in the ring. One of my favorite athletes of all time because I told you all, if I could be anything, it would be heavyweight champion of the world. It's something about that. I'm excited. I'm excited because I want to see. Don't want anybody to get hurt because it is an exhibition, but it also is Mike Tyson. He's pretty much as close as you can get to a pit bull off the leash. When you walking around and you see a pit bull, whose dog is this? Hey, get your dog. You want to make sure that dog has an owner,
right?
And if he's in the ring, he's by himself.
He's free
for all.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Do you put Mike Tyson in the same category as guys like Bo Jackson, where their careers were cut short? Obviously, much different circumstances. I'm just saying, like an athlete that, for whatever reason, Bo Jackson, obviously with the injury, Mike Tyson, had some legal stuff going on there, and bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, part of his ear.
I think.
Or do you think that his career played out?
I think it played out how it was supposed to play. I mean, he had a bunch of fights. He just, after losing to Evander Holyfield and then losing to Lennox Lewis, like he didn't beat some of the better heavyweight fighters in his division at the time.
But when did he stop boxing? I felt like he still had plenty of.
No, he was pretty much on the tail.
That was it?
Yeah, it was. He lost to Evander Holyfield the second time cleanly, and that was it.
Trying to look at his age here.
Mike Tyson is 55, 58.
So when he fought, when he lost to Evander Holyfield, It was only his 47th fight.
Yeah.
He was 30 years old.
A lot of fights.
I don't know.
Did you guys watch the Jake Paul documentary on Netflix, The Untold?
Nope.
I actually liked it. Mike Tyson is like a huge fan of Jake Paul.
Really?
At least from the documentary.
Until
I don't know.
You get inside the ring, and then Mike Tyson is only a fan of pain.
Oh, for sure.
I'd be interested. I'd be interested in that. That'd be kind of cool.
I do want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he doesn't harm him.
So the Cardinals are still playing right now. They're playing the Houston Astros at 6-3 in the bottom of the ninth.
Go Cards.
Let's go Cards, right? Always time for a comeback here. But we talked about it. Kyle Gibson, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks. But Matthew Liberatore, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 earned runs. He had 2 strikeouts. We got a text, though, from the 314, and we've talked about this before on the show, but would you watch an MLB version of Hard Knocks following a team through spring training? I would love it.
That would be cool.
I would watch the Cardinals. I wouldn't be interested in
any other team.
I wouldn't be interested in the Astros or something, even though the Astros are good. Mm-hmm. I would be interested in the Cardinals.
I wonder if it would give you another level of appreciation for some of the players and how they go about their work.
So it all depends, right? With these documentaries, we've talked about this before. What is the documentary's purpose? Or in this case, this is, what would you call it, like a season?
To give you an insight into the personalities, the team,
sure.
The ins and outs, guys fighting to make a team. I would watch this.
Are you showing me as much as you can? I realize you can't always show me everything, but can you show me as much as you can? Because think about the Florida Gators.
Well, that was terrible.
The Netflix document. That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't even watch it. I just heard it was not the real.
When you're skipping over Aaron Hernandez's time and some of the other guys that got into some trouble down there to focus only on, like Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
And Brandon Spikes and some of these other guys that had really good careers at Florida and,
right.
Guys that Florida would be proud of. What are you showing me?
Well, I think that style is different than, Hard Knocks, which is kind of taking place in real time as opposed to going back and looking at the events that took place. I think if you were to watch that, you would be engaged. You would be intrigued by it. You would be really engaged.
Unless it's fluff. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Because whoever's showing us the film, we are viewing it from their viewpoint.
Right.
So there's always a director. So the director is showing us what he wants to show us or she wants to show us, and we're watching it through their lens. So are you trying to show us in depth what the players are going through? Or are you showing us some drama, or is it just fluff? Because if it's fluff, then I'm out.
Nah, we don't want fluff.
Right.
But we do want to know the ins and outs.
Sure.
How many injuries are we dealing with? What are we? How many hits are we?
That's the stuff. That's the stuff. The injuries, I don't know if we're going to get.
Freedom Thursday, according to the 636.
Freedom Thursday.
Interesting question here. Would you rather have an obsessive person love or hate you?
Oh,
love. I would rather have an obsessive person love me. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So is hate.
But hate, you can almost distance yourself.
Can you?
Yeah.
I would go love. I agree, but both is a lot. So do you want to feel like that tension of
but if they hate you,
hating you?
You're not around them nearly as much as if they love you. Are you?
Either way, you're kind of screwed. Either way, your boundaries are being tested.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I guess love. At some point, I would need to breathe.
Sure. Now imagine you also needing to breathe when somebody is crushing you constantly. They are taking out their frustrations and their anger on you constantly.
Oh, we got a text from the...
I'm going to go love.
The 636 says, you don't die from someone obsessed loving you.
There you go. It's a great point.
This is true.
Isn't love always the answer?
I think
Love
so.
is
Yeah.
always
Who
the
said
answer.
that?
ELE, baby.
There you go.
I thought that was the Beatles.
I don't know.
The 2-1, I think it was Jackie Moon that said that.
Everybody love everybody.
217 says, hard to call the cops on love.
Yeah,
See?
it's true.
Text line gets it. They know. Chris Kerber's going to join us in 15 minutes. Before that, though, more of the thoughts from you on a Freedom Thursday here on 101 ESPN. They've got brand new Nissan Altimas down at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum throughout the month of March, in which you can finance for only $499 down and only $499 a month. Cover that over 84 months. You don't have a lease, you have a new vehicle that's all yours. And new Nissan Altimas aren't the only thing that they have at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. They have over 700 vehicles all in one location. New Nissans like Nissan Altimas and Pathfinders and Rogues. They also have pre-owned vehicles there of different makes and models. At Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, one thing that they always have, 30-day new car return promise. So if you purchase a new vehicle from Auto Center's Nissan, within 30 days, if you bring the vehicle back, they will refund the full price for you, get you your refund, and set you up with something else if you do want it. If not, you keep it. You love it. Fantastic. You get a complimentary lifetime warranty, complimentary 1-year maintenance as well on all new Nissans. So head out there, tell them Stalter sent you, or start at AutoCentersNissan.com, peruse the vehicles, and then you can pick out a couple that you can test drive. All there out in Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum. It's a Freedom Thursday here in the Fast Lane. That means you have the freedom to tell us what topic you want to hear Carey, Marsh, and me talk about today. We do have Chris Kerber coming up in 10 minutes. Get a little trade deadline update from him ahead of tonight's Blues and Devils game. But, Marsh, continue.
Yeah, we get a text from FedEx Brian, guys, soccer question here.
All right.
In your opinion, should City SC be running as their formation on an all-the-time basis of a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3? Anthony, the 4 would start at the back. In a 4-2-3-1, Klaus would be your primary striker. In a 4-3-3, you could have both Sam and Klaus out there as well as Thor at the same time. Thoughts? Because I trust your soccer knowledge.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. If I'm running things, I'm definitely allowing Klaus, Adeniran, and Thor to do their thing, Carey.
However they see fit.
However they see fit. Now, the offense ran very well through Klaus a year ago, early on before he got hurt. Not a bad way to go. But I do think now that this offense has evolved in that they can throw, multiple looks at their opponents. I love the breakdown there. I love talking soccer. I love talking boots on the pitch.
Okay.
And you like Thor, too.
I do like Thor. I
Both the
absolutely like
soccer
Thor.
player and the superhero.
And the god.
Yeah, well.
He is, right? He's a demigod.
Is that Chris Hemsworth? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Who's funny.
That's
He is
good.
great.
Yeah. He's excellent.
He is great. We get a text from the 618.
I like your breakdown. Couldn't agree more.
Stalter's soccer notes.
There you go.
From the 618, or actually, this is very confusing because this text message comes from the 618, but in the text message it says from the 636. So maybe this person has two phones. They have two phones and they got confused.
Yeah, they forgot which phone they were using.
I have lost interest in baseball because of the Dodger monopoly. Will baseball ever adapt a salary cap to even the competition?
Dude, I'm with you.
No.
Go ahead, Carey.
No. Why would they? Why would the players agree to that?
They wouldn't, but
So
it'd
it's
be
not
nice for
gonna
the
happen.
fans.
Cool. You know what's nice for the players? Making as much money as possible. You think Shohei
The top
Ohtani-
guys make the money.
And so they will not ever have a salary cap.
Well, baseball's suffering from it, and I'm with the 636 or the 601 or the 314, wherever
Wherever
they're
you're
coming
from.
Yeah.
You mentioned it, though. If they had a floor, it would be okay. If they had a mandatory amount that they had to spend, then you wouldn't have some of these teams just doing nothing. Like you talk about the Pirates and the Reds and the Brewers and the Cubs sometimes. Now they're better. But if you had a floor, it would be okay. But you'll never have a salary cap because baseball has the best union of all of the four major sports. Without a doubt, they are the strongest. They are in line with one another, the best. And they won't go for a salary cap because they want to be able to make as much money as possible.
Okay.
Without any limitations.
I agree wholeheartedly. And the owners don't want the floor, like you said.
Correct.
So the top earning players don't want the ceiling. They don't want their ability to earn, to be capped.
Correct.
And the owners will never sign off on a floor because a lot of these owners are, getting away with what should be criminal acts in Major League Baseball sense. But so while we agree, can we table that for a second?
Okay.
And just talk about it from the fans' perspective. I'm with this texter, and I've said as much on these airwaves. This baseball season, this off season, because obviously we haven't started the season. This off season has been one of the most uninteresting and uninspiring off seasons that I can remember. You have the top teams. You head into the season, and I know even the most optimist Cardinals fan. I apologize, you're in the minority on this. But even the most optimist Cardinals fan has got to be able to look at the roster and say, yeah, we're not a World Series contender. I know that the Diamondbacks got in last year. I get all that. But I'm talking about right now, if you're looking at the odds, you're looking at just the rosters on paper and all that, I'm not interested. The Dodgers are loaded. The Braves are loaded. The Phillies are loaded. Who else? The Orioles are young and exciting. But we'll see if they can match wits with some of these other teams now that are just spend heavy. I don't think there's a bunch of teams that can win the World Series this year. I think there's about 5.
Are you saying that you weren't excited when the Dodgers signed Shohei Ohtani and when they made all of these moves and they spent almost $1 billion? There was no excitement. And then you get Shohei learning that he's going to defer a large amount of his contract till later on. You were excited. You were like, whoa, this is groundbreaking.
Why would I be excited for that?
If it was the St. Louis Cardinals, you would be excited.
Absolutely.
But it's not. But it's the Los Angeles Dodgers.
So baseball.
It's one of the biggest markets in the country. They are taking care of the baseball business for the major leagues.
Yeah.
For Major League Baseball.
Baseball. I heard a national radio guy say baseball has never been healthier. I don't think baseball has ever been sicker. Baseball is Major League Baseball. It's a regional sport. That means you watch your team. You're hardly tuned in to ESPN Sunday Night Baseball or some of these other primetime matchups. It's not like football. It's not like the NBA where you can watch maybe TNT Thursdays. You're tuned in to see what that matchup is. The Celtics are really good this year. You want to see Jason Tatum. It's not that. Even the NHL, I think is still regional, but not to the effect of baseball. Baseball is I watch my team. It's a commitment. Even with the time that they've shaven off, it's still a commitment. And it's 162 games. I watch my team. And if my team, just like the majority of Major League Baseball, does not have a shot to really win it, I'm sorry, that's not good for the sport.
How about this? Jordan Montgomery has unfollowed the Texas Rangers.
He gone. And he has followed the St. Louis Cardinals.
No, actually. Oh, man. No, he's actually following.
But not net yet.
I don't know about that, but he is now following the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm not kidding.
For baseball. Huh?
Could you imagine?
Not entertained?
No,
Are you not entertained?
Kerry, that's what I'm saying. I'm not entertained.
Why you were here?
No, that's not why I'm here. I will answer you, Russell Crowe. I will answer you this time. So as you're standing there in the middle of the arena, I'll be the guy up in the nosebleed saying, no, this is not why I'm here.
Get on board. Get on board.
I don't have to. I don't like the Dodgers. I don't want to see them win. I want to see the Cardinals win.
125 games.
Right.
You're going to be excited.
I'm not.
You're like, this is amazing. Have you seen those Dodgers play? You get to see them open the series of the year against the Cardinals.
You got new glasses on, Kerry? Jeez, who you rooting for?
No kidding. It's Dodger boy here. All right, Kerry, real quick, because we got to get this Curbs. Real quick. You sit down. You're going to watch yourself a new series.
Yeah.
On one of these streaming services, okay? I can offer you one series, 3 seasons, a lot of drama, a lot of intrigue, cliffhanger at the end of every episode.
Yep.
I also have a series, 3 seasons, incredibly predictable, not much drama, not much action, and good luck.
I'm going to watch the one that has more intrigue, that keeps me on the edge of my seat.
Thank you.
But that's sports. We're talking 2 different things.
I rest my case.
If I'm a Dodgers fan, I'm thrilled. Hell with you guys.
You're not a Dodgers fan, though. You're a Cardinals fan.
But if I were, well, I don't have high expectations here. That ain't my fault. If they did what the Dodgers did, I'd be standing up at attention. Is that my fault?
If the Cardinals were the Dodgers, we wouldn't even be having Freedom Thursday.
We would.
No pushback yesterday.
We'd be talking about adding Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery and where they would all pitch and whether or not if you go to a 7-man rotation. That's what we'd be talking about. All right, Chris Kerber next. Join it. We'll talk about the trade deadline tomorrow with Curbs here on 101 ESPN.
Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Hey, listen to this review from Linda about Classic Air Care. Was able to fix our older AC unit in one visit. Very good service. Technician, extremely professional. The company also installed a new furnace a few years ago for us. Great service. Came and installed a new furnace in the middle of the winter when it went out. They were able to put a new furnace within a few hours. Great service and cost compared to the other quote we got. Highly recommend Classic Air Care. Those are the kind of reviews you're going to read if you go to classicaircare.com and you look at the different reviews they have. A Google rating of 4.8 when it comes to their reviews. They care. They're going to come to your door. They're going to get it fixed. They're going to make sure the cost is right, and you're going to be educated on what's going on. By the time your unit is fixed and your home is comfortable again, you're going to know that not only did you get great service, you got great care, and you're going to feel awesome in the home now that your furnace and air conditioning unit is working again. It's Classic Air Care. You can book an appointment online. You can give them a call as well, or you can go to classicaircare.com and find out about all their great services. Again, Classic Air Care. Book online at classicaircare.com.
Time for Curbside with the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
303, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, here for 101 ESPN and Blues Radio Network. What's up, Kerbs?
Anthony, how are you?
Doing okay. Kind of anticipating tomorrow's trade deadline, of course. What's the latest? What are you hearing?
More than you guys are. You see all the rumors and stuff that goes out there. I was glad to see the Sundqvist extension happen this morning. Otherwise, I would have bet anything that he for sure was one of the guys going to be traded off of this team. But looking at it, I think the Blues have some guys that are being asked about, but I got to think that those guys would not necessarily be the free agent ones. So I have no idea what to truly expect, Anthony, being totally honest, because I don't ask Doug Armstrong that question.
Sure.
But I do look at the rumor mill, and I see like everybody in Toronto, just melting over the idea of getting Colton Parayko. That ain't happening. All right. Blues aren't trading a 6'6" defenseman that can dominate a game. With where they're at defensively or organization-wise. And then, the other name that obviously you have seen pop up is Pavel Buchnevich. And I guess if a deal was really good, it would make sense. But, you're talking about a guy with 24 goals, a guy that's easily, on a team that's got a little more depth than the Blues have, or with the power play clicking all season long, a 30-goal score easily. You're trading something like that, and that's the moment you're looking for it, too. So, I could be wrong. I don't anticipate fireworks, but I guess we'll wait and see together, right?
That's right.
Kerbs, is there any thing to think about with this transition of the lines moving Saad up to the first line and Buchnevich down to the second line?
Well, I think Brandon Saad's played pretty well here over the last week or two, and although I do think it's weird to say it that way, but, knocking on the door of 20 goals again, 17 goals, they've just got to find a way to balance it out. You've had two-goal leads in the last 4 games. You've lost them. And Drew Bannister, much like Craig Berube was, you're just fine trying to find a way to get enough guys to play consistently, get in on the forecheck, move up the ice as a unit of 5. The first pass out of the zone was just not good in that last game, against the New York Islanders. So I think it's him just continuing to find ways. I mean, you're not going to keep it the same. You don't have a ton of, options. You don't have a ton of options for your top 6. I do wonder at some point in time, to be honest with you, and I have not talked to the coach about this yet, but I do wonder if you start to potentially see them try Bolduc in a more increased role. Everybody's really happy with this play. I talked to him about it. He's feeling more and more comfortable, but I wonder if it's going to. I wonder if somewhere along the line there's an option there. But all this is, I don't read too much into it, Carey. I just look at it and say, you got a head coach who's just trying to find something to keep the team consistent.
Chris Kerber joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Pregame starting at 5 o'clock tonight as the Blues take on the Devils in New Jersey. Kerbs, going back to the Oscar Sundqvist extension, what do you think Army's trying to accomplish with the extension for Sonny?
Well, I have to believe that there were phone calls for Oscar Sundqvist. The way the teams look for depth, you know what you're getting, game in, game out. You got a guy that can penalty kill. He's proven he could stand net front on a power play as well. A solid season so far with 21 points and 19 games to go in the regular season. But to me, it's what would you get? So, for example, and I think Jamie always talked about it, and we asked him this question in a post-game show a few weeks ago, right before the break, and he talked about it just means a ton to him. And when I talked to Oscar today, his quote was amazing. He goes, "Look, we're going to battle hard to try and get this team into the playoffs." He goes, "But if that doesn't happen, I feel like it's kind of unfinished business." And he goes, "I want to be a part of the group that turns this ship around." And I think that this team needs that kind of character. They need that kind of attitude. And to get him on a 2-year deal, 1.5 per, is a terrific deal for him, who was not given a big contract as a UFA last year, and deal for the Blues. You know what you're going to get. You're getting a great attitude in the process.
Curbs, a lot of the talk has been about retool versus rebuild, and if this team is unable to make the playoffs, it would feel almost like a rebuild. But how do you rebuild or retool when you have so many players on no trade clauses? How do you get better if you're unable to move people to bring different people in?
Well, you don't. I mean, you don't get better if you can't find a way to move a couple people. So, if Doug can't find, trade scenarios for guys or teams that guys with no trade clauses want to go to, then you've got to look at options. And sometimes that option is simply putting a guy on waivers. Look at some of the players recently in the last couple of days that have been put on waivers. Ryan Johansson of the Colorado Avalanche put on waivers, sent down to the American Hockey League. I mean, at some point in time, that might be what has to happen. Doug has not bought anybody out in the current era of buyouts. The only team, I think, in the league that's done that, so does that eventually have to happen here? So you're right. Eventually you do have to do some type of lineup changing and lineup tweaking and make room even for some young guys to potentially come in. So, but Carey, to me, like he said last year, whatever reword you want, right? Retool, a full rebuild. Like, guys, I was just looking at the New Jersey Devils who were playing, okay? They made the playoffs. They went to the second round last year. They're going to miss the playoffs this year. This is a team that's only made the playoffs 3 times. I mean, this is phenomenal. 3 times in the last 13 years, right? In the last 7 years, they've had 4 top 4 picks. They've had 2 number 1 picks, a number 2, and a number 4. In the last 7 years, they've had 5 top 10 picks. The Blues have had 5 top 10 picks since 1988. All right,
wow.
Let that sink in. The New Jersey Devils have had 5 top 10 picks in the last 7 years. The Blues have had 5 since 1988. And I don't think Tom Stillman has the stomach for a long rebuild. I don't think the fans do. I know Doug Armstrong doesn't. But if you look at where this team is now, guys, it's about where Doug actually said it would be. In the middle third, knocking on the door, potentially in the playoffs. There has been a little more inconsistency. If they had a power play all season long, I think they'd be in a playoff spot right now. So I don't think it's far off. So I don't think actually that missing the playoffs this year changes the retool/rebuild comments and where they're at. That it would only be year 2 of missing the playoffs. You probably, if you stay this competitive, you're not getting a top 10 pick. Maybe you're getting 12, 13. You see where that stuff goes. But I don't know that it changes that process, because I think the moment that Doug turned the page last year and trading away the players that he did, he was thinking not so much about this year. He really was thinking to next year and the year after that. And I think you got to wait and be patient and watch this process play out.
Kerbs, before we let you go, what'd you think of the Vladimir Tarasenko deal?
Well, you know what? I don't think Ottawa got much for him, but I think Ottawa did just fine for him with it, because when you got a player like that has a no trade clause, and he could dictate a full no trade clause. He could dictate where he went. There really isn't any leverage that the team has for him. So for them to get middle round picks, and I just gave you that nugget on 4th and 7th round picks, right? Mm-hmm. Vladdy wanted to be in Florida, I think, all the time. So who knows how that goes. He's having just an okay season. But I don't know that Ottawa really had much leverage to do much better than that. So they'll go to Florida, and we'll see what happens there.
Kerbs, we'll look forward to listening to tonight as the Blues take on the Devils. Again, a pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 5 o'clock. Puck will drop a little after 6.
All right, fellas. Have an awesome rest of the week.
You too. Thanks, Kerbs.
Bye-bye.
That's Chris Kerber here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Looking forward to tomorrow's trade deadline. We'll have all the answers to the questions that we've been asking through the last couple of weeks. It is a Freedom Thursday. You're free to throw out any topic you want via the Air Comfort Service text line or via mic drop, which is what Courtney did. I also wanted to address, Carey, you had read off a text to me, following my comments about Major League Baseball and it being predictable. There was a comment that came in and said, well, isn't the NFL more predictable? You got the Chiefs winning 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
On the verge, maybe
Dynasty.
winning another third. Yeah, you got a dynasty. Wouldn't that be more predictable than Major League Baseball? I will absolutely concede that point. It's excellent. There's a bigger picture here bigger picture point that I was trying to make. So we'll do both next on 101 ESPN. This is Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. We got a really good text message that came in right after I had talked about how Major League Baseball, I think, is in a spot where they're not going to benefit from having the Dodgers scoop up most of the talent this offseason, or having the Phillies with a loaded roster, or the Braves with a loaded roster. Just having a handful of teams that you go into the regular season saying, yeah, this team has a legit shot to win a World Series. And we got an excellent text about how, well, isn't the NFL more predictable based on how the Chiefs have won back-to-back Super Bowls and how the Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 seasons? Isn't the NFL more predictable?
So the Dodgers have only won 1 championship in 35 years.
And that was the COVID year.
Yep.
I will absolutely concede that fantastic point. You are absolutely right.
There you go. Job 314.
There's a bigger point that I'm trying to make about the fact that you need eyeballs on your game for as long as humanly possible.
Baseball is different, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is regional.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and watch the Seattle Mariners play baseball, but I'll watch the Seattle Seahawks. Like, it's different. Right? I'm not going to watch the Baltimore Orioles play. Maybe I want to see Jackson Holiday, but I would definitely watch the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. I think baseball is just more regional. It's more tied to the city that you root for, the team that you root for. If you're out of state and you're rooting for a team, if you live in Illinois or if you live in New Mexico or California and you're a Cardinals fan, you're probably going to watch the Cardinals in any way possible. But
until the Cardinals are where they were a year ago.
Well, that's the Cardinals' fault. That's
and the
not
Pirates
the
are where they were. The Reds are.
The Pirates don't have fans, Anthony.
Well, they do. They just
don't.
alienate them.
No, they don't. They
that
have,
fan base.
The Pirates have Steelers fans that are just waiting for football season to come
fair,
back
but they're still fans.
No,
My point is, if you have 3/4 of the league that doesn't feel like their team has a shot or is literally out of it by the All-Star break, you're losing those fan bases. So while football may have capped we've got the same winner the last 2 years, same winner the last 3 or 5 years. The Chiefs were underdogs in 2 of their 4 playoff games this year. The Dodgers, I'd be willing to say that the Dodgers aren't going to be an underdog in any of their 162 plus games this year. You still have fan bases all around the NFL that are still locked in because their teams are still in it.
But the Dodgers
baseball's not going to be able to say
every
that.
Game.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I concede the point about the championships, but if you have the majority of your league, I'm talking about the health of the league. If you have the majority of the league in a regional sport where most of the fan bases aren't paying attention to your sport, how is that good? That's my bigger point.
Well, I think it's because there's so many games, right? And we touched on that earlier. Like with football, there's one game a week and they're blocked off in certain spots. And then you can get red zone. You can watch all the games. Plus, every single game matters more than like a random game in like May for Major League Baseball.
How locked in are you if the Cardinals are a playoff team?
Oh, I'm pretty locked in.
How locked in were you last year?
Not as locked in. I mean, it's our job to be locked in.
Sure, but just
like,
you as a Cardinals fan.
Me as a Cardinal fan, no.
Okay.
I wasn't locked in unless like Adam Wainwright was pitching. Then I'm like, okay, let me sit down and watch this.
But when the Cardinals are a playoff team, like they were 2 years ago, and they got hot, you're locked in, right? You're locked in September.
For sure. Like those, and I brought this up yesterday, like going to or maybe it was a few days ago, but like going to the ballpark and watching the game and being like super locked into the game, or just going to the ballpark and being there and like, oh, the game is happening while I'm there. Like, I feel like the same thing can be said for at home. Like, you're at home, you're doing a bunch of other stuff. Like, the game is on, you're watching it, but you're not locked in. When the Cardinals are a good baseball team, I'm sitting down and like, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm locking into the game, and anything else I need to do, I'll do it during the commercial break.
Sure.
And like, I didn't feel that last year. So, but with football though, I am a little bit more locked in because, and I wonder if it has anything to do with a lot of the players have an impact on every single play. Like a quarterback has an impact on every single play. Whereas like Paul Goldschmidt, he's maybe getting 3 at-bats a night. And maybe, I mean, he, obviously as a first baseman, he's getting balls thrown to him. But like if you're an outfielder like Jordan Walker, he's getting 3 at-bats, maybe 4 a night, and maybe a few balls are hit to him. Like I think it's different when you're trying to promote players and whatnot, because you're seeing those players have an impact almost on every single play.
I think the best way to promote your team or to promote your sport is to have interesting teams.
It's to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. We got anything else?
Well, there's someone. If you have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, no. All right, we'll save that.
We got a text from 314. Marshy didn't need to be locked in last season because he had his visions to tell him what will happen.
That's true. Yeah, no, those visions weren't accurate, but he still had his visions.
Did they work?
They didn't work for you?
Hell no, they didn't work.
No one.
I mean, I tried to piece it together at the end of the season.
You did. Yeah, you tried. You had the spin.
Tried.
You had the spin rate cooking.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a Freedom Thursday in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. You have the freedom to choose any topic you want. You can text in, or you can leave us a mic drop like Courtney did.
Guys, I would like to talk about something that I just almost died of laughter at. And BK mentioned earlier that he would give a contract extension 7+ years to Nootbaar for around $9 million a year. And I'm just like, the first thing I thought about is what Anthony always say, that the Cardinals should always be looking to upgrade and get better. That's a player that I feel like they should be upgrading over. Look, I know everyone has fell in love with his energy and his great smile and the pepper grinder and all that, but the guy is always injured. I have never seen him play a whole season. I don't think I will see him play a whole season. It just makes no sense to me. Like, I'm tired of seeing average outfielders.
So I'm just from what I'm hearing out of Courtney, I'm way higher on Lars Nootbaar than Courtney is. I would not sign him to an extension. I agree with the part of Courtney, what he's saying in the first part of the mic drop there, where he's talking about, BK is saying to sign him to an extension. I think the Cardinals should just see how things play out a lot more. See how the guy plays out.
I'm with you. I don't think I would sign him to an extension yet either. You're probably higher on Lars Nootbaar than I'm. Not low on him. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a solid player, but I'm left wanting more at times. And so until you see a completely healthy season, the ability to make, it's about making plays. Like when your opportunity is presented, when you are thinking about the guys that get paid money and get the upper echelon type of contracts, those are the guys that show up in the biggest moments. And so for me, when you start talking about, okay, we're going to extend this guy, we're going to put more money, invest more money into this guy for this reason, it has to be because that person shows up in critical moments, not in games where you're down 5-1 and he hits a 2-run blast and you end up losing 5-3. That's nice. Right. Yeah, he's got 30 home runs, 25 home runs. Okay, how many of those were game-changing moments, or were those empty calories, so to speak? Sure. Like, I want guys that are actually impacting a game, and I think Lars has the ability to do that. I just want to see more of it before I would be willing to sign him to an extension. I would sign Jordan Walker to an extension right now before I would.
See, I'd let the situation play with him too. That's part. I mean, you got cost control. I understand the idea of it. You get them on a lower cost and all that. But what's with
the number is going to go up?
I understand that.
And the longer you wait, the more money you're going to have to spend.
All right. Or you can run in a situation where everybody and the brother wanted to pay Tyler O'Neill after the MVP season.
How's that going now?
Not great.
How's he doing?
Apparently, he didn't make the trip. He apparently didn't make the trip to Boston today because of an injury.
What did he hurt?
Hamstring, I think.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, so
Lars stretch more.
Lars Nootbaar. Courtney's right when he talks about the games played. He had 100. Let's forget about 01. 2022 and 2023 when he was a starter. 108 games in 22, 117 games last year. He had a WRC plus of 123 and a WRC plus of 118 the last years. That means he was significantly above average in both of those seasons. But Courtney's right. You got to play a lot more. When it comes to an extension for a young player, or any extension for that matter, are you indispensable?
Is Lars Nootbaar
indispensable? Not to me.
No.
So let it play out. Is Jordan Walker indispensable right now? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it a little bit more though. We're still projecting.
Yeah, but I think the upside for Jordan
Walker
is much higher.
I'm still letting it play out. I don't think the Cardinals need to be in any rush because you signed Jordan Walker. Who then are you not signing next offseason?
This is why I disagree, because they're not going to spend money when the time comes to actually. If the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. And if you continue to wait, the number just continues to rise. And what do we know about the St. Louis Cardinals?
They're risk averse.
They're not going to spend money if the number continues to rise. So if you trust that this player that you've scouted, evaluated, drafted and brought him up through the system, if he is what you think he is going to be, you probably shouldn't waste time and wait for that number to rise, because it's going to be harder for you to sign that and say, I should have did this 2 years ago. You're damn right you should have, but you didn't, dummy. You waited, and now you don't want to do it, and now you're going to lose a player because you don't want to spend the money on him that it's going to cost to keep him at this point.
I do think, though, that they have guys in waiting, though. You have guys like Chase Davis, Victor Scott. There's two parts of your outfield right there. Who knows what the team's going to look like in 3 or 4 years?
Are you referring to Nootbaar, not Walker?
I'm referring to Nootbaar,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, I just want to clarify.
Okay.
Just because, who knows what Lars Nootbaar looks like in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I wouldn't sign him to an extension. I would not be in a rush to sign him an extension.
Chase Davis, Victor Scott, and Jordan Walker.
All right.
Oh, that would mean that someone would be playing first base. Perhaps Paul Goldschmidt.
At 45.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Anthony, you've been watching superhero movies lately. We got a text from Luke, who actually left us a mic drop that we started the show with.
You killed that mic drop, man. Nice job. We loved it.
Freedom Thursday here. If you could choose one superpower to have, what would you guys most want? Invisibility, ability to freeze time, flight, X-ray vision, super strength, etc. What do you think?
I mean, I got to go with the healing ability.
Wolverine?
You shoot me in the face, that bullet pops out in 2 seconds.
Wolverine?
I'll take that.
Hit yourself, hit your face against the side of a pool.
It heals almost immediately.
Yeah.
Being invisible is weird to me.
I agree.
That's kind of creepy.
Would you be kind of telling on yourself? You're like, I'd choose the invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
You're
pervert.
kind of freaky. You kind of weird there, buddy.
There's a character in the show The Boys named Translucent, and he is just a weirdo.
Yeah.
So, that's how I'm like, that's weird. It's weird. I think super strength would be, flying would be cool.
Flying. Super speed feels awesome as well. The Flash.
Any superpower would be great, but again, if you could, freaking dumpster runs me over and pop right back up. Again, I think that's I'm good.
I feel like
imagine the fearlessness that you would have with
that's
that.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like being able to teleport to wherever I wanted to be, at
any moment,
like Hayden Christensen in Jumper.
Yeah.
What's his face in was it Quantum Leap?
Yo, that's one of my favorite shows. Scott Bakula.
Now that, Marsh, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Quantum Leap? There's a new version of Quantum Leap that's out.
It's not the same.
I'm sure it's not. Scott Bakula was the Quantum Leap.
Yeah, buddy.
He was taking quantum leaps every week.
Oh, yeah. Loved it.
That's funny. All right, we've got Hot Take or Hot Garbage next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Oscar Sundqvist signed a 2-year extension with the Blues worth $3 million. The Blues take on the New Jersey Devils tonight. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We talked earlier today with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed that interview or if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com. or use the free 101 mobile app. You'll go to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cardinals hit a few home runs today. Jordan Walker, Matt Carpenter. However, they did fall 6-3 in spring training action against the Houston Astros. We've talked a little Cardinals baseball today. Once again, if you missed anything, make sure you go to the website or use the free 101 mobile app. We'll continue our Freedom Thursday throughout the show. However, we have hot take or hot garbage coming up next. So if you have a hot take that you want to send our way to the Air Comfort Service text line, do so using the 314-399-9646 phone number. Hot take or hot garbage coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hot take. All right, time to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Is Andrew Marsh.
All right, let's start it off with the 618 Hot Take or Hot Garbage. Freedom Thursday needs to turn into a monthly Freedom Friday.
I like that.
Oh.
Yep, I like that. If Freedom Thursday doesn't sound
Freedom
great,
Friday.
we need that alliteration going on. Freedom Friday. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we could do that the final Friday of every month. Do this the final Friday of every month.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Freedom Friday. We open it up to
Your
you.
topics, because we care about what you think and how you feel.
Yep.
And clearly we weren't providing the service that we needed to provide yesterday because you all were pissed off at us.
But you know what
It's the reason why we have Freedom Thursday, soon to be Freedom Friday. I hope you all are not as upset with us as you were yesterday, because you all were hot. And what did we do, Anthony, Marshy?
We listened.
We listened. We're men of the people. We are.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it, but we definitely are.
We listened. We said, okay, let's turn this around. And I think this Freedom Thursday is going off without a hitch.
From the 636 Hot Take or Hot Garbage, Dylan Carlson will be traded at the trade deadline for starting pitching.
Hot garbage.
I can't call that hot garbage.
For starting pitching?
Yeah.
If he's playing that well, why would you trade him?
Well, he might not be playing that well. He might not
So
be
why
playing
would you
at all.
get a starting pitcher then?
Hey, you put him in a
No, that's hot
trade
garbage.
package with prospects. And
So
then
not
you get
just 1 for 1 is what you're saying.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Because you're right. If he's playing well, you're not going to trade him.
And if he's not playing well, you're not getting starting pitching.
And if he's playing, you need him.
Clearly.
he's projected to be your fourth outfielder.
What's going on here?
So, but if he's not
Team
playing,
has more fourth outfielders and 6 starters than I've ever seen in my life.
Dunc used to. There was a time where Dunc used to say, "I've never seen a team with so many 2-6 hitters with so many second basemen. Like everybody was a second baseman." You have a shortstop? No, we got 9 second basemen though.
Good.
Yeah. Continue, Marsh.
This one's from the 314, and this 314 texter is actually one of the reasons why Freedom Thursday is a thing today.
All right, thank you, 314.
314 says, I'm still waiting for my Cavs talk. I think they're better than Carey's Golden State Warriors. LOL. Hot take or hot garbage?
It's hot garbage. If you didn't see the game last night, the Warriors bounced back from a 50-point loss in Boston.
Yeah, they did.
And they beat the hell out of the Milwaukee Bucks.
They covered. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Did
they
you
beat
have
by
them?
30. Yes, he
I
had
did.
them.
I stole Carey's
Stole
pick.
That's right. He
from
stole
me.
your pick.
I'm still bothered, but it's okay.
Actually, he didn't steal your pick. He's got a better record than you. So he's just playing by the rules.
Is it the rules?
Yes, it's the rules.
Is it the rules?
Yeah.
He has not picked basketball one time.
That's not true. I picked college basketball a few times.
Dickinson and who was Fairley and who played?
It was Citadel and Mercer or somebody like that.
It wasn't even Fairleigh Dickerson, who you see pop up in the tournament. You took two teams you never heard of. He took the Citadel. I didn't even know they had a basketball team. And the only reason why I knew they existed is because they wind up on Alabama's schedule midway through.
Mercer.
Football.
Yeah.
Don't blame him. All right,
I will not say that the Cavs are better.
The Cavs are having a really good season.
Donovan Mitchell's been out. He's got a little bit of knee soreness.
Yeah, but they're 40-22. They're only 8.5 games back in the Eastern Conference because the Celtics have been so good.
I just can't believe in the Cavs.
Why not?
No.
They've built a really good team.
They've gotten better. I just don't believe it.
All right, fair enough. They are better than the Warriors, though.
Well, technically, based on the record.
I mean, not even technically. There's 7 points. There's 7 games better in the win column.
Record. But when you're looking at it with the eyeball test.
If you want to do point differential, Cleveland's got them there.
Well, you got issues. The Warriors had, a guy that was missing a large majority of the games.
And whose fault was that?
Out.
There you go. Thank you.
Rudy Gobert's.
I mean,
I'm with
the 3-1-4. Cleveland's better than Golden State.
What are we doing here? Let's see at the end of the season.
From the 636 hot take, April 6th will be the best day a St. Louis sports fan has experienced in years. Cards, Battlehawks, and City all play at home, and the Blues play on the road.
Wow. Yeah, love it.
It's going to be a great day.
Can you bounce around that day?
I'll be bouncing around. I think Action Jackson and I have a tentative plan to try and go to the Cardinals game, maybe stop by the pitch for a little bit downtown by City SC.
And go to the Battle Dome?
And then go to the Battle Dome.
Ooh.
And then in
Is
between...
Is it spaced out enough?
So Cardinals play early. Blues play at 5, I believe. They're playing your Sharks.
My Sharks.
And then...
Oh, man.
The City game, I can't remember which one is which, but I think City plays at 7:30 and the Battlehawks play at 7. So that one will be a little tough. It could be flip-flopped. I'm sure the text line will let us know, but that should be a really fun day. Now, is it the best day? I mean, I would have to argue when the Blues won the Stanley Cup, that was a pretty damn good day for St. Louis sports fans.
I would say so. Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
It is an exciting day, though. I can see where the 3-1-4 is going with that. That's cool. It'd be fun if you could bounce around. Mm-hmm. You and Action Jackson should have a swell day.
I think so. I think so. From the 636, hot take or hot garbage, the NHL really needs to do something about the LTIR rule.
It's working to Vegas's benefit, right?
Yeah, and it worked to Tampa Bay's benefit, too.
Why should they do something about it if it's in the rule book and if it's in the rules?
Should they change the rule then?
Until they do, you do what you got to do.
In the spirit of the question, though, would you change it?
No, if everybody has the opportunity to use said rule and only a few teams are using it effectively, it sounds like everyone else should keep up or catch up.
All right. So hot garbage?
Hot garbage. It's there. Okay. It's there for the use. Use it.
Fair enough.
And if you ain't, don't complain.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's what they said. Yeah, heard that too.
Yep.
From the 314, hot take or hot garbage, Kerry Davis can't say anything good about a team in any AFC North city.
Hot garbage.
That's a hot take.
It's hot garbage.
Okay, let's try it. What do you think about the Browns coming off the playoff run last year, Carey?
The Browns stink.
All right.
It is the mistake by the lake.
Okay.
It is not a good place.
Cincinnati Bengals coming off. That means you got Joe Burrow coming back.
I don't even know if he's ever going to be healthy for a full season.
All right. Lamar Jackson, AFC Championship game.
He is a special player. I do like Lamar. I do not like Baltimore. I said something good.
Hot take. Hot take there.
From the 661, hot take or hot garbage, the best movie candy are Milk Duds. Fight me. I agree. I love Milk Duds.
Really?
Yeah. I was told that's like old people candy, though.
People put Milk Duds in like popcorn.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay. Peanut M&Ms are the number one snack at a
movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, are we excluding popcorn?
Yeah, we're going to exclude popcorn.
Okay.
It's not candy.
Okay.
It's
fair.
almost like a meal if you haven't eaten all day.
Yeah, that's true. Big ass. Take a popcorn.
I'm starving. I've had
I'm trying
enough.
to think what I like. I like a lot of candy. Milk Duds, I can only have a couple, man.
Milk Duds are good. Okay, I forgot that Sour Patches, they exist. Sour Patches.
Worms or kids. Or
The Sour Patch Kids, those are probably my favorite. Even the Sour Patch Watermelon ones are good, too.
You shut your mouth because Anthony doesn't like anything watermelon.
Well, I like watermelon. I don't like watermelon flavored stuff.
There you go.
Have you ever tried mustard on
No, hell no.
watermelon?
I don't know. No. What?
Yeah. It was a TikTok that I saw a few years ago. I tried it. It was actually not terrible. I won't say it was good. It was not terrible.
It was good.
It wasn't terrible.
It was not terrible.
I mean, I guess you're going for that salty sweet combo.
I'm okay.
There's other ways to get it.
I mean, I had a few, man sodas in me at the
That
time.
makes sense.
So.
That makes more sense that you'd even try it. Yeah.
Last one here, Anthony. You'll probably know a lot about this. This one's from Droid on the Snake Pit. Hot take or hot garbage? Roman Reigns and the Bloodline will crumble at WrestleMania this year.
Carey, your thoughts? I'm going to kick it over to Carey now.
Who is he going against? I have no clue. Is it is the American Dream, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes? Because that guy can go.
Kenny?
L.A. King, L.A. Knight, yeah. There's another one.
L.A. Kings?
L.A. Knight.
Those are hockey players.
No, not that guy. I went to a, was it WWE, was it SmackDown or one of them?
Raw?
Raw, might have been. It was something here.
Yeah.
Took my son. I used to love wrestling. Like Anthony Stalter, listen to me.
Those are jam.
Oh, man. Ultimate Warrior, yeah, he was shaking and all that. Yeah, that was my guy. I loved wrestling. I had not watched it for years. I took my son, and I've taken my son to NBA games, NFL games, baseball.
That was the most fun.
He was on the edge of his seat, like, I said, dude, you really
put on a
into
good
this.
show. I mean,
It was a really
from
good
what
show.
I'm told.
Wrestling's sick.
Yeah,
Like
they
I
put
remember
on a good show.
when I was younger, I went to SmackDown here in St. Louis, and it was so much fun. I mean, I don't remember like who was there, but it was a lot of fun. Like it's something completely different than like your average sport.
Sure.
So
It's really well put together.
Yeah.
Like-
well, they do it from an entertainment standpoint. I mean, they have fans they love it.
we have a lot of people that are texting in. They're big fans of Cody Rhodes. We even
Yeah.
had the 6-1 hate said Cody and Roman. Let's go, Cody.
There you go.
Nice.
Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
Well, there you go. All right, we got a text message that Marsh read off earlier about comments that Jamie made the other day on the opening drive, and I wanted our thoughts on it. It's on today's athlete, and I wanted to get Carey's thoughts because as a longtime high school coach dealing with different generations of kids, what are his thoughts on getting the most out of today's young athlete? That's next on 101 ESPN. So we got a text here on a Freedom Thursday about Jamie's comments the other day made on the opening drive about how to get the most out of young athletes. And we figured let's just play the audio from Jamie, and then we'll kind of dive into the question. And we'll be quick because we got the Gauntlet coming up. But here's Jamie the other day on the opening drive about how you get the most out of young athletes.
Look, I have got 4 kids they range from 23 to 15. And everything I tell them is, well, why, Dad? Like, why? Why are you telling us? I'm like, just because I said so. That doesn't work anymore. And so I think that some of the coaches that are losing their jobs are more of the because I said so, rather than breaking it down and explaining it and telling them exactly what it is that you're doing or what you're expecting. Because this generation of player, look, they have access to iPads sitting on the bench. I can come back after every shift and take a look at what happened, and then he's turning around in the middle of the game and go, well, what should I do here? And the coach is, he's got to respond to that. He's got to find a way to tell the player what they want to hear. Now, that don't mean like in a positive way. I just think that they crave so much information that you've got to be willing to coach that way by basically breaking down every decision that you make so that the players trust you. And that's a tough thing to do for some of the older coaches. I mean, some of the guys, especially like Lindy Ruff and guys like that, it's a do what I say type situation for them. And this is all brand new.
So Jamie mentioned Lindy Ruff because he was fired recently. He's been the most recent, most recent fired coach in the NHL. And the guys were asking him about, why NHL coaches get let go. So, Carey, we did get a question on the text line about this. I'm just going to kick it over to you because you've spent many years now coaching high school football. You know the way young athletes are. So, what are your thoughts on that and the why?
I think the most important thing as a coach, I was taught and told that if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't know it well enough. Because if you can explain it to a 5-year-old, you can simplify it and make it, to a point where anyone can digest what it is you're trying to explain and why it is you're doing those things. A lot of players do ask why. When we were growing up, coach said, run there, or okay, I don't even know why you said it. Okay, I'll do it. But now there are more questions as to, well, what is the purpose of this and how does this impact that? And as a coach that may be a little bit older, there's a level of frustration because as a player, you didn't ask that. You just did what your coach said because you figured that the coach knew best. One of the issues I think Jamie talked about having the iPads on the bench and having more information. I think that's true at all levels. Like there is so much more information than there was when we were younger as players growing up. And so many different people telling you so many different things. And so as a player, you have to learn how to decipher who you're listening to and why you're listening to that person, because just because they're close to you doesn't mean that they're giving you the great information that you need, that your coach may be needing to give you. I'll give you an example. I had a parent who argued with me one day. My son knows football. He knows football. He don't know what we're doing. Like, he don't have a clue what we're doing. Right. And then I showed her all of the examples of none of the slides that he looked at from our playbook. Yeah, he doesn't know this. He might know football. He might know what a receiver is and what a running back does and but he don't know our plays. That's why he's not playing. Right. Because he's too busy listening to you all tell him you know football. Yeah, you don't know this. And so as a player, it's your job to learn the playbook, learn, the technique that your coach wants to use and why. Because sometimes a certain technique helps the player behind you. So if I'm a defensive lineman and I want you to wrong shoulder this pulling guard, it's because I have the outside linebacker or the linebacker scraping over the top. And if you collision them, the outside linebacker is over top. You both are in the same gap, and he's going to stick his foot in the ground and get north, and he's going to score. So understanding why we are doing certain techniques and why it's important to our scheme and our game plan is what's going to help players and help coaches win games.
And ultimately, I think any player just wants to either get better and or win. Yeah. And if you can show them that you can get them better or make them better, realize their full potential and their goals and help them win, I think you're going to be a great communicator. You might not be that for the entire locker room or the entire clubhouse, and that's where coaches wind up getting fired on top of the results. But, yeah, I mean, as much as, and I agree with Jamie, what he was saying, I think, though, that is still the ultimate goal. And that was the goal 20 years ago, and that was the goal 30 years ago. Can you make me better? Right. Can you help us win? And if you can effectively communicate that and what you're trying to accomplish, then I think you're going to be a great coach and you're going to stick around a long time. All right, we've got the Gauntlet, returning Gauntlet contestant next on 101 ESPN.
Four warriors, four categories, one challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
403, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Kerry Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome Josh back for a second straight day. He beat Carey yesterday in round one of the Gauntlet, and Josh is back for round two. What's up, Josh?
What's up, Anthony? How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing pretty good. Carey still stinging from yesterday's defeat, and boy, you whooped them. You whooped them pretty good.
You did.
It was a little bit of luck, not going to lie.
I don't know.
I should have took some options.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, Josh, would you like to take on Marsh or me in round two?
Anthony, I'm going to take on you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, Josh, good luck.
All right, thanks, Anthony. You too.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Anthony heads into the cone of silence. He's getting out of here. Josh, good win yesterday.
Thanks, Carey.
It's time to...
Good effort.
Yeah, it was good-ish on my behalf. Great on yours. Tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
All right, Marshy, spin that wheel.
Let's see where we are. Oh. Marshy, you let him know.
How do you feel about football today, Josh?
We'll see.
Okay.
Against Anthony, not super confident, but we'll see how it goes.
Sure wish you'd have spun that yesterday, Marsh. Marshy's getting the launch codes, and we are getting ready to run these questions off. All right. I definitely wish you had this. All right, Josh, here we go. Mark Sanchez played college football at which university?
USC, final answer.
Question number 2. How many teams did Mark Sanchez play for in his 8-year NFL career?
Oh, man. Okay. So you got the Jets. I feel like he was somewhere else. I don't want to take the options because I feel like it's going to be 1, 2, or 3. Drawing a blank. Let's just say 2, final answer.
All right. The famous Mark Sanchez butt fumble while he was with the Jets was in a game against which team?
I believe that was the Patriots, final answer.
Question number 4. Mark Sanchez made it to the AFC Championship game in back-to-back years. The Jets lost both times, once to the Steelers and once to which other team?
I believe that was the Patriots as well, final answer.
All right.
All righty.
We'll get...
What's up with the Mark Sanchez question?
I don't know.
I didn't know, was it birthday or... I don't know. I don't know what the heck is going on here.
Mark Sanchez.
Gotta love him. Anthony is returning from the cone of silence. Was he in there by yourself? Were you in there by yourself? Or
No.
You had company?
Yeah, had company. Mike Ryder and Grant
All right.
does an outstanding job in the Blues coverage for us.
All right, Anthony. Well, you should probably pack a lunch, sir.
Okay.
Your topic is hockey. Are you ready?
No.
Okay, good, because it's football.
Yes! Yeah! You got me, Carey.
Question number 1.
Nice work.
Mark Sanchez played his college football at which university?
USC. Final answer.
Question number 2. How many teams did Mark Sanchez play for in his 8-year NFL career?
Wow. He was a New York Football Jet. He was... boy, where else did he play? I'm drawing a blank on this. Was he a Saint? Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez the franchise.
Sanchez the franchise. Yeah. Where else did he play? Couldn't have just been the Jets. He had to bounce around a little bit, and you're going to give me some low numbers here. I'm going to take a shot in the dark on this. Oh, man. I'm going to say I'm between 2 and 3. I'll go with 3, final answer.
All righty.
Question number 3. The famous Mark Sanchez butt fumble while he was with the Jets was in a game against which team?
I believe that was Thanksgiving night, and they were playing the Patriots. Final answer.
In question number 4, Mark Sanchez made it to the AFC. Sanchez the franchise made it to the AFC Championship game in back-to-back years. The Jets lost both times, once to the Steelers and once to which other team?
Peyton Manning's Colts. Final answer.
All right. Well,
All right.
let's just run down the list here. Mark Sanchez played his college football.
What a weird theme.
Josh said the same thing. What's up with all the Mark Sanchez questions? Mark Sanchez played college football at which university? Josh, you said USC. Anthony, you said USC. The correct answer is...
It is USC.
But neither of you needed the option.
Nice job, Josh.
You too.
Question number 2. How many teams did Mark Sanchez play for in his 8-year NFL career? Without the options, Josh, you said 2. Anthony, without the options, you said, I'm stuck between 2 and 3. I'll go 3. The correct answer is...
It is 4.
Neither
4
of you got
teams.
it. Who knew?
Do you have the 4 teams? No?
Yeah.
We get up later.
It's Philadelphia. It's New York, Jets, Philadelphia, Dallas, and Washington. Who knew?
Dude, I can't.
No idea.
I vaguely remember Washington.
Yeah, nah.
I don't remember the Eagles, and I definitely don't remember him being a Cowboy.
Yeah, but he only played 2 games in Dallas.
Okay. That's 2 more than Josh and I thought he played.
The famous Mark Sanchez butt fumble while he was with the Jets was in a game against which team? Josh, you said the Patriots. Anthony, you said the Patriots. Neither of you needed the options.
Nice.
Marshy, what's the answer?
It is the New England Patriots.
Nice job, Josh.
We have a 4-4 tie. Whew. Comes down to this final question. Mark Sanchez made it to the AFC Championship game in back-to-back years. The Jets lost both times, once to the Pittsburgh Steelers and once to which other team? Josh, without the options, you took the Patriots. Anthony, without the options, you took the Indianapolis Colts. Josh.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
The answer was the Indianapolis Colts. Good job.
Man.
That was it, Josh. That was a good guess, though.
Yeah. It was a good round.
They did beat the Patriots one year because I think that was when Bart Scott had the famous.
It wasn't an
Can't
AFC
wait.
Championship game. That was going
it was a
into-
divisional game. But I
Yeah.
could see
That
why
was a
Josh.
divisional game, yeah.
I could see why Josh thought that though.
And they went to Pittsburgh, and you know how that goes.
Yeah.
By the way, I think Mark Sanchez played for more than 4 teams.
I got 4.
I have the Jets, the Eagles, the Broncos, which was practice squad,
Oh, that doesn't
the
count.
Cowboys, the Bears, and
didn't play
then
any
Washington.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Josh, thanks for playing, man.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Keep
See
up
you,
the good
Josh.
work.
Thanks,
Had
Josh.
a lot of fun.
Thanks, man. Thanks for listening too. Nice work.
All right, bye.
Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez. Who'd have
Esque.
thunk?
Six-pack. Gauntlet. Six-pack's
The
coming up
butt
next.
fumble was one of my teammates' butts. Brandon Moore,
Oh, yeah?
college teammate. I don't know why I know that. Well, I guess I do know why I know
Well,
that. I've
yeah,
seen
you
it
know,
100,000 times.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ran into the back of Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore played defensive line our entire time at college, and then was undrafted and went to the New York Jets. They moved him to offensive guard, played like 12 years.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Excellent.
he's the butt.
And I'm pretty sure that was a Thanksgiving night. Thanksgiving night game. Yeah. Oh, Randy Kerber shaking his head. Yes, he's in the, all right. This is Fast Line on 101 ESPN. We got the Sports Six-Pack coming up. So if you got a question for us, send it to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Six-Pack next.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right, let's keep this going. From the 636, which quarterback in the upcoming draft do you think is the closest comp to Mark Sanchez?
Following the Sanchez-themed gauntlet.
Drake May.
You think so?
Yeah, possibly.
I'll say
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy.
He can run a little bit better.
Yeah.
He's more athletic. I know. It's
right.
crazy, right?
So Carey, you and I have talked about it, and I hate to, this kid just won a national championship. Obviously, he's got more than enough talent to play in the league. Mm-hmm. I just don't see him as a top 10 pick. So I've gone back. I'm not watching film. I'm watching YouTube cut-ups, and not the highlights, but the YouTube cut-ups. So it's not like I'm a scout or anything. But So I'm just trying to have a better understanding of this. And then when you're going through a lot of the scouting reports that are out there, they all say the same thing. Winner, leader, really good, short to intermediate. That's it.
I'm looking
on
at
J.J.
a mock
McCarthy.
draft. They got him going 6th overall to the New York Football Giants.
That's going to be tough for the Vikings to get up to 6, but they probably will.
You know what?
I wouldn't worry about it. If I
I think we're good.
Did you see the Athletic predict where the quarterbacks are going to go? I think it was the Athletic where quarterbacks are going to go.
No, and I'm not excited to hear what you're about to say.
Well, it may change your mind.
Okay.
The Vikings, they had Russell Wilson.
No.
And J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I think.
That's what we said the other day.
Did we?
We were talking about it. Maybe they were listening.
No. It wasn't J.J. McCarthy. It was somebody else that has basically bottomed out.
Oh.
Like both guys.
Bo Nix?
It wasn't Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is like 28 years old.
Yeah, he's 42. Let's see here.
Closer.
Vikings. Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't Russell Wilson.
Don't do that. Wow.
These two guys played for the same team, just not at the same time.
Played for the same team, not at the same time.
Jacoby Brissett.
No.
Give me a hint. What team was it?
The Jets.
No.
Gardner Minshew? No, Gardner didn't play for the Jets.
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
No way. Who's the other one? Not Aaron Rodgers. No. Well, hold on now.
Who was the other one?
Is it Smitty?
Geno Smith?
Nope.
No, Mike White.
Mike White. Jamie calls him Smitty because he calls him Mike Smith.
I don't know. Who is it?
I think he was the former number 3 overall pick.
Sam Darnold?
Oh.
Stop it.
Vikings, Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson.
What?
That's a team there, buddy.
That's their prediction.
Ew.
Yep. It's the Athletic. They're predicting where the quarterbacks are going to go.
Justin Jefferson is going to retire.
So the Bears, they had Caleb Williams. Bucks, they had Baker Mayfield. The Falcons, they had Kirk Cousins. The Vikings, Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Broncos, Sam Howell. Commanders, Drake May. Raiders, Jaden Daniels. Patriots, Jacoby Brissett and Bo Nix.
Jacoby.
Your Steelers, Kenny Pickett and Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, that makes sense was it Arthur Smith?
Yep. Seahawks, Geno Smith and Michael Penix Jr. Giants, Daniel Jones and J.J. McCarthy.
What are we doing?
This guy, whoever wrote this, clearly hates the Vikings.
Clearly. But if they do that, I might hate them too.
Could you imagine?
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson.
Oh, my
Geno Smith and Mark Sanchez.
Just saying. I didn't write the article, Marsh.
I know you didn't, but the fact that you told me that.
Well, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, but it's
I read it before the show too. I could have brought it up, on the show or before the show. But I wanted the camera to capture your reaction.
Oh man.
Well, I'm glad you didn't ruin my day before 2:00.
Sure. Yeah. I waited. We're almost done today.
That's not great by any means.
Oh, man.
I'd rather have J.J. McCarthy. Hell, I'd rather have Mark Sanchez.
No, you wouldn't.
He's been out of the league for a while.
Question number 2.
This one comes from FedEx Colton. The question on the opening drive was a good one. You have to choose a hitter in the World Series, a hitter to win the World Series, a play to convert a 2-point conversion to win the Super Bowl, a shooter to win the Stanley Cup on a penalty shot, and a hooper to hoop to win the NBA Finals. Who are you taking?
Okay, let's go one at a time.
One
here.
at a time?
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the first one again?
World Series. Let's just assume it's like a pinch hit World Series, Game 7,
bases loaded.
walk off.
I'm taking Barry Bonds. They're probably going to walk him.
Oh, I was going to go current. Should we go current?
Yeah, let's go current.
All right.
Current player.
So just a player to get a base hit to win the World Series.
Oh,
Luis Ariz.
Base hit. Okay, yeah.
I'll take Jose Altuve.
If all I need is a hit,
Yeah.
I'll take the guy that collects hits,
I'll take the little fella that doesn't like his shirt ripped off.
and we know why.
Yeah, we do now.
Okay, what's the next one? Well, who's yours, Marsh?
That's a really good one. Maybe like Ronald Acuna Jr.
I don't mind that.
Can't go
wrong with him.
With no Cardinals, huh? Okay.
If you were going to take a Cardinal to get a base hit.
Brendan Donovan.
Okay.
I'm torn. I'm going to say Nolan Arenado, but I wanted to say Wilson.
We said
Contreras.
the World Series, the playoffs. I'll take Wilson Contreras.
How about the 2-point conversion?
Patrick Mahomes.
The
hell are we doing?
Well, I was saying, like somebody catching a 2-point conversion or just executing the play? It's QB. What do we got here?
Taking Patrick Mahomes. I don't give a damn.
Mahomes. Yeah, it's always Mahomes. I should.
Penalty shot, Stanley Cup.
Oh, current. Can I go Connor McDavid?
Yeah, I think we'll allow it. Connor McDavid would be my answer. If I couldn't choose him, I would go with Nathan McKinnon.
I think I'm going TJ Oshie.
Sochi and Oshie. Oshie and Sochi.
I feel like he's got a little bit left to give.
All right.
And then one guy to make the shot in the NBA Finals.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, I got to go Curry too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dame would be a good one too.
You got to get there.
Okay, but
you said it first.
Nolan Arenado. That was a good question. I like that.
Question number 3.
From the 636, going back to the coaching young players conversation, do you think that Drew Bannister would be a perfect fit for the Blues because he used to coach young players in the AHL? I wonder how neighbors, Kyrou Thomas, like Drew Bannister because of that.
Yeah, I think he'd be really good. I just don't know what the vibe is right now because he like it or not, even though he was put in a tough position, he's had a good portion of the season to show that he can work with these players, and the results haven't been great. Again, not all him. He's got to deal with the roster that he has. But if we just take the question at face value, him working with the young players that he's already previously worked with, assuming that the players like him, absolutely. And it's not about it's about getting the most out of them.
What's the likelihood of him retaining this job?
I don't. If they made the playoffs, I think he would have had a good shot. If they still do, he's got a good shot. I don't think he will though.
It's unfortunate.
I think it's a tough break for him.
Yeah.
Question number 4.
Got a text from the Air Comfort Service text line. What is your go-to order at an Italian restaurant?
So since I was a little kid, man, I've always been a big ravioli guy.
Really?
And you get ravioli at a really good Italian place, solid. But I like the tortellini.
Oh yeah.
You get what's it called?
Yeah, 3 cheese tortellini. Do you like the cheese or do you like the meat inside?
I'm good with either. But there's a dish. There's an Italian dish that I should know. I'm kind of embarrassed by not knowing it off the top of my head. Oh, what's it called? Bolognese? No, that's not. That's different.
Bologna?
No, it's not bologna.
Oh, okay.
You won't find bologna in an Italian restaurant.
Fried bologna.
Anyways, anything with tortellini is outstanding.
I like chicken marsala.
Those are good.
That's mine. That is mine.
Sign me up.
So good.
Yes,
Yeah, that's solid.
Question number 4.
This one comes from Tanisha in the Snake Pit. What age is considered old in any professional sport team? I get sick and tired when my son says 30 is old for any sport.
Your son's not wrong. In football, it's ancient. It's you're an old man at 30, becoming an old man.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is 31 now. And there weren't a lot of teams vying for his services.
That depends on what. Yeah, and it also depends on what position you play. Like if you're a quarterback,
you're fine. You play at 45.
Right.
You don't get hit, Anthony. Not even in the games. The hell are we talking about? Tell an offensive tackle that. This body is banged up from the first day.
I think the clock starts ticking at 30 for any sport.
I think
like
35.
You start looking at them like, how long do you have left?
I feel like baseball 35, football 30, baseball 35.
Yeah.
Basketball, I would like to say 35, but I feel like 37.
I would say 35.
I think it depends on what kind of player you are. Like if you just like shoot threes, hey, you can play as long as you can make the three.
Yeah. I think
hockey?
If we just what's hockey? You think
like 35 probably.
I think we just go with 35 overall.
Yeah. Well, but football feels that's old.
I
don't know how many people make it to 35.
Right.
Other than quarterbacks and kickers.
I would say average for NFL. I would say 33.
That's still old. Trust me. I mean, because you're coming out of college at 21.
Yeah.
And you're at 31. That's a 10-year career. Not many people don't make 10 years. So 30 for me is.
What a rough sport and a rough league.
Man, listen. Gotta love it.
Question number 5.
From the 314, whose contract is the biggest joke in all of sports right now?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
They paid him to go away.
That worst trade, worst contract. That one's going to be tough to beat for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Our Freedom Thursday concludes with the final question topic segment of the day, because at the end of this hour, we got Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments. But our final Freedom Thursday conversation next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Oscar Sundquist signed a 2-year extension with the Blues worth $3 million. The Blues will be in action tonight, taking on the New Jersey Devils with the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Puck drop is at 6. We talked earlier today with Chris Kerber. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or go use the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cardinals lost today in spring training action against the Houston Astros. Jordan Walker and Matt Carpenter went deep. Kyle Gibson pitched 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs. He struck out 3. Matthew Liberatore, he went 3 innings, gave up 5 hits. However, no runs came across the board, and he had 2 strikeouts. We are going to continue our Freedom Thursday here in the Fast Lane, so you want to text in any topic, sports, doesn't matter what it is. We talked about the Iditarod earlier today. Whatever you want to text in, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. More of your topics coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Time to wrap up Freedom Thursday here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh, what do we got? What's our last Freedom Thursday topic?
Well, yeah, here on the 314 wants to know just like what was our favorite Friday fish fry? You guys ever been to a fish fry?
I haven't. I know what they are. Great.
I don't, I'm not a fried fish kind of guy, but catfish is always very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Aren't they like the garbage?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Disposals
Don't worry about that.
All right.
This is fried and it's good.
Do you like a good fish taco?
Those are good too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like fried fish.
Mm-hmm.
Some fried catfish.
Is anything like most things fried? Is it bad?
Just a little bit. It tastes much. It's really good. It tastes good. It's not good for you.
No, but
it's
like if I just say, "Hey, fried fish," you're probably in, right?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, shouldn't be. But you probably will be.
Hey, you can tackle your 314-day plans with the Battlehawks next Thursday, March 14th at Ballpark Village. Celebrate all things STL with a free 314-day Battlehawks Town Hall event with head coach Anthony Becht and the Battlehawks Brass. The event is free to attend and will feature fan-favorite activities, ticket giveaways, exclusive merchandise, live music, and more. Plus, the Fast Lane will be broadcasting, that's us, live from 2 to 6, courtesy of Sumner One. You can get all the details now at 101ESPN.com. Brooke Grimsley will also be hosting the event. So, Marsh, we will need another Freedom Thursday topic.
Nice.
Right.
From the
Since
618.
we failed the fish fry situation.
From the 618, would it be better to trade Jordan Kyrou and get more for him and keep Buchnevich?
Wait, you didn't let him finish the question.
I didn't need to. I heard it.
Why do you want to trade? Why do you want to trade Jordan Kyrou?
Just because I think you'd get a lot for him.
You don't think you'd get a lot for Buchnevich?
Not as much as Jordan Kyrou. Younger player. People love the scoring.
You don't love the scoring, Anthony?
I just think that he'd look great in
you don't love the scoring here.
I think he's a really young, talented player that could fetch a lot for you.
And can score a lot of goals, and you normally don't let those guys walk away.
Yeah, I'm building my team differently.
What, are you trying not to score goals?
No, I'm trying not to allow the other team to score goals. I've seen a team win a cup that way. I've seen multiple teams win a cup that way. I've seen teams that
defense matters?
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
How do you win a game if you don't score?
Well, you'll figure it out.
You got to score to win.
Vegas figured it out last year.
They scored.
They didn't have Jordan Kyrou.
We got a text from the 636.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Okay.
He wasn't on the team.
I'm glad I'm the only one that answered that question, too.
You did.
Carey. What would you do?
I wouldn't trade Jordan Kyrou. I wouldn't trade either one of them. I'm keeping them all here.
Okay.
We're going to ride this thing out.
That's worked out well. Run it back for no reason.
From the 636, what is Anthony's favorite Dunc story that he can tell on the radio? That was my favorite show on the radio.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kind words on that. My favorite Dunc story. I don't know if it's one specific story, but there was something. So his brother Shelly did a remarkable job at Chris's Celebration of Life event in Arizona. And Shelly asked me to kind of host it. But Shelly, he put together kind of phases of Chris's life. So he had a bunch of people from the Cardinals, like Ank talked. I think Skip Schumacher also shared some stories too for like his Cardinals days. He also had some players, some high school buddies there to tell some high school stories about Dunc. I was there and BT was there to talk about his radio days. Yeah. And I remember telling the story about when I was producing the Fast Lane, and it was Randy, DeMarco, and Chris. And Dunc, every single day, he would pitch an idea to me that was basically kind of like a perverted joke that he could try to get by DeMarco and Randy without them noticing. So he would come up with a line basically that was filled with innuendo. Yeah, and he would say it to me, and he would always ask me the same thing. Can I say this on air? And Carey, almost every day I would say, Dunc, don't say that on air. And every day, Dunc would say it. And he sits, and now you can see via the Air Alliance team YouTube channel in the Snake Pit, Chris used to sit where Carey sits right now. And I would be where Mike Ryder is in the production studio. So, Carey, if you look over, you can't really see Ryder right now, or whoever would be working there. And every time he would say what I told him not to say, and he would lean over, and he'd have that take batting practice. And you always had an opportunity to go and talk to the people, talk to the coaches and talk to some of the players. So it was a good opportunity for me and Dunc just to go down there and kind of just shoot the you-know-what. And Dunc would always introduce me to players. But what always touched me was that when we were walking through the bowels of the stadium to get to the infield, everybody, and I mean everyone, knew who Chris was. Dunc would know their names, and there would always be the same reaction. Huge smiles, huge hug for Dunc. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Chris would know, hey, how's your husband? How's your brother? Dunc would know everybody's backstory. Yeah. I'm talking about people that work on the field, security guards. That's awesome. Clubhouse attendants. The woman that would work, and I apologize, I don't know her name, who would work like the tickets for the players. He knew her. Like everybody knew who Chris was. Chris knew who everybody was, and it wasn't a facade or anything like that. That always kind of stood out to me. And again, everybody had the same reaction. Then you get into the clubhouse, and guys like Adam Wainwright or Matt Holliday would immediately run up to Dunc and, hey, how you doing? And just big smiles on the face. So everybody loved Chris. That's awesome. Everybody. Great dude. He was a great guy. He was a great guy. Funny as hell. There's other stories that might be a little bit more inappropriate for the air, but maybe we'll do maybe we'll do a Fast Lane live at some point. I can tell some of those. But thanks for the question.
Last one here from the 314. Would you rather get free pizza for life or own a functional lightsaber?
That's such a unique question.
Two totally
I'll go with the
different.
pizza. I don't know what I'm going to do with the lightsaber.
That is a very good question.
Like, what am I going to do with it?
Just going to...
Knowing me, I'd cut off my arm. I'd get ham sauce. I'd be like, Carey, Marsh, you gotta look at this.
Oh, God.
So I'll take the free pizza.
I'm probably going to go with pizza as well.
Whenever you want to wash the lightsaber hilt, make sure it's facing down. That way...
Don't harm yourself.
Yeah, you don't want that thing to pop up.
Yeah, no, it would.
Yeah. You got a hole in your head.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
And maybe the pizza sounds
a little better.
A little bit better.
A little safer. We'll go with the pizza.
A lot safer.
All right, we got Bet the Board. 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments next. If you missed anything from today's show, Freedom Thursday show here in the Fast Lane, which I thought went very well. Thank you for everybody that participated. This was one of the... We always love to get our listeners involved, but this was to a new level, man. We loved it. So we think we're going to do it maybe on a Friday, maybe the last Friday of the month. We'll do it each month. People liked it. Yeah. If you missed this Freedom Thursday, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time for Bet the Board. Marsh, what do we got for standings?
Me and you are tied 3-1, and Carey and Jamie are tied at 1-3.
Okay.
You know.
Go ahead, Marsh.
I like it here.
Take Carey's pick again.
I was really thinking about it. I think I'm going to go Florida Panthers, Philadelphia Flyers over 6 goals tonight. I'm taking the over.
Okay. I was looking at Carey.
You're up. Sorry.
Give me Washington State -6.5 tonight against Washington. I don't know if they call it the Apple Cup in basketball, too. I doubt it. But give me Washington State -6.5 in Pac-12 play. Washington State 9-1 over the last 10 games, 7-3 against the number. So I got them. I got
thank
the
you,
Cougs.
Marsh, for not taking my pick. Take the Golden State Warriors -8 versus the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
It's not your 90s Bulls.
Alex Ferrario, who's got the pregame show tonight here on 101 ESPN, starting in less than 10 minutes now. He's got Jamie Rivers' pick, which will be the total for the Blues and Devils tonight. What do you like, Alex?
Total for Blues and Devils?
6.5. Jamie continues to refuse to throw out his pick. So.
Oh, well, that's always good. I'm going to go under in this one.
6.5.
6.5. I
Under
like the
6.5.
under. Binnington and
Jamie.
You like the Blue Jackets versus the Oilers? +1.5? Sounds like a sound pick.
Yeah, or, like the Sharks. He's a big fan of the Sharks, +245.
Well, that's your team, actually.
We can give him the Sharks against the Islanders.
Yeah, he doesn't want your team.
All right. Not my team.
Yes.
Under 6.5 is Jamie's. Marsha, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
So we have from the 314, this was great, fellas. My votes for this being a regular thing, and that would be Freedom Thursday.
I like that. And we're going to move it to Freedom Friday, which just sounds better. Alliteration
It rolls
and
off the tongue.
Yeah. And thank you for those that inspired it yesterday by yelling at us.
We did get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
We got one from Jamie's Vacation Speedo. Anthony.
Yes, sir.
If you lose your arm, Anthony, then you can be like the Winter Soldier. And that is
that's a great call.
We're referencing the pizza versus having a lightsaber debate.
And you definitely would rather that, right?
I want to be the Winter Soldier,
There you go. Okay.
Yep, with the bionic arm.
Then you should go for the lightsaber.
Is that a thing now? Can we, if we advance the technology enough where I can actually get that bionic arm?
So.
No?
I don't know.
It's just a movie.
I mean, it'd be awesome, though, Carey.
I'm sure, but I think that's just...
I get angry, I punch somebody, they go flying,
Be careful with that thing, Anthony.
Oh, I'd be terrible with it. Hey, for many reasons.
We got a text from the 314. Missed a good chunk of the show, but caught a lot. Great show today, fellas.
Thank you. Thank you for the compliments.
Let's get to our 3 stars of the day. Our 3rd star today goes to a show that is currently running right now, but it's not a show that you two remember all too well. This new current version, you remember the old version, and that would be Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
That's right. The old version with Scott Bakula, who is from St. Louis. Our texters were reminding us of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Scott Bakula was from St. Louis.
Me either.
Jenna Fisher. What's the other woman from The Office? What's her name? Aaron from The Office.
I don't know.
I'm blanking.
Text line will help me. She's also from St. Louis, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Ellie Kemper.
Thank you.
Or not Ellie Kemper, Aaron Hannon.
No.
No, yeah, Ellie Kemper. Ellie Kemper played her.
Yeah, there you go.
My mistake.
You're the man. Where were you on those guys? Thanks, Alex.
Hey, look, there's one thing that I know, and it's The Office.
Yeah.
2nd star of the day goes to the listeners.
Yes.
For Freedom. And you thought I'd give them the 1st star, but no.
Okay,
you'll understand why.
Who's the 1st star?
Our 1st star of the day goes to Mark Sanchez, the franchise Sanchez.
I get it now. Absolutely.
4 questions in the gauntlet about Mark Sanchez.
Grant decided to do a Mark Sanchez-esque gauntlet. I like it. I won, so it wound up working okay for me.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sure listeners enjoyed going back into the day. And
Joke's on you, Grant. Anthony Stalter has posters of Mark Sanchez in his bedroom.
no, sir. No, sir. That's Alex Ferrario. You're going to hear him in 5 minutes or so. Blues and Devils pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Of course, we'll have the puck drop for you a little after 6 on the Blues Radio Network. You'll hear from Alex, Kerbs, Joey Vitale. But for Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Anthony Stalter, see you. When it comes to saving you money over the course of your home loan, or any loan for that matter, Stewie from Stewart American Mortgage Corporation, he's the guy. He's Jamie and I's guy. He needs to be your guy. He's going to save you a ton of money. Trust me on this. I don't know any other lender, anybody that saves you money when it comes to lender fees, when it comes to closing cost. And when I say save you money, I mean there is no lender fee, no closing cost if you go with Stewie and you choose the bagel loan. The bagel loan is a personal creation of Stewie's. If you're borrowing $200,000 or more, again, no closing costs, no lender fees. He does a tremendous job of making sure that you can go to the table or the seller with your absolute best offer. Or maybe you're good with the down payment, but you want to use that money that you saved on the closing costs and the lender fees to build yourself a basement or remodel the kitchen to your new home. If you want your dream house, you don't know how to get it, or maybe you're in a situation where on the other side, you have your house already, you feel good about it, but you need to refinance, and you don't know if it's a good time. Or maybe you're in a debt consolidation situation. Stewie's got you covered on all of that. So give him a call, 314-324-4440. Again, 314-324-4440. Tell him Jamie or Anthony told you to call. He'll be thrilled for that. Or you can also Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.